Hey Dreamer, please.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be checking out Bathory in Arena. She has been away for so long and I'm sure you guys miss her, so let's check out her skill set before we proceed to Arena. For her passive, she is able to survive 1 HP and has a 10% chance to cause bleed on basic attack. Only 10% chance. However, you can increase this with your teammates or fighter soul or even traits. For her vampiric diet, she is able to do single target, and for her throne, she is able to do to 4 enemies, poisons at a 50% chance, and also lifesteals back the damage dealt. So that is not too bad. However, the damage multipliers are of course pretty low, but we can find a way to work this out. And of course, her most famous awaken skill. This one everybody should know. And if you don't know, you know now. For her weapons, I've given her double speed. She is my attack leader for this setup. Double HP for armor. For her jewels, increase skill use chance, speed attack, and increase awakening gauge. Now all these are to ensure that she uses skills and also to charge her awakening gauge much faster. And for accessory, guardian ring and HP increase. Now I have also tested her with the reset awaken skill whale accessory in the later matches, so I will notify you guys to keep a lookout for it. And yeah, I tested these two accessories, but HP actually increases her HP to almost the same as Yeonhee. For fighter soul, defensive, and for traits, stun resist, silence resist, and sleep resist, because these are the most common ones that she will face in Arena right now. So let's head into Arena. In the first matchup, we have a Yeonhee backline. This is gonna be very interesting, as I'm super excited to show you guys. So of course, she's my speed leader, she will go first, and then Yeonhee is going to attack here. The good thing about her is that, of course, with her eliminate skill, she gets rid of enemies very quickly. So once she has done that, she's basically ready to go. Of course, if she stays around more, to use her skills, it's okay, but you won't get the best output out of it, and that's the drawback that you will face. Because obviously, we know that there are better heroes with better skill sets than her, but we are really using her for the eliminate, which is already ready. So the criteria is for her to use speed attacks and to get hit. And basically she will get her awaken skill. And goodbye to Yeonhee. And with Yeonhee out of the way, I can guarantee you the match is gonna be a lot better, because the enemy team effectively just lost their counter unit, right? Or maybe they do have a Dylan's, then that's another story. But normally, if your enemy is using a Yeonhee, she should be countering. But in this case, my enemy has another counter hero, I believe, and that is Dylan's, who is now dead. Yep, so here she uses a life drain. She does not get back a significant amount of damage. Okay, I also think that could be because of Cult. I think Cults reduce recovery rate by 100%, so maybe the recovery wasn't so big. But then again, her stats are lower than the other heroes, so of course that explains the low damage output and has low amount of lifesteal. So I mean, if you want her to be competitive, you have to try to get her stats up, but then again, that's not her priority, because her priority is get her awaken skill up ASAP, and thanks to the counter from the enemy melee, that is what actually helped. Of course, I used the skill as well. So she's eliminating Yeonhee again, and no more counter hero for the enemy team. Oh, she does have melee, I forgot. Yep, so I think besides that, I think, you're off to a great start. You don't even need to care about the guardian ring or whatsoever. Within 3 turns, 1 enemy is down. So it's pretty good, it's very fun. We used her on the front line. Unfortunately, this melee is very annoying, but yeah, I use her on the front line so she can get hit, and please don't give her height accessory because she needs to be targeted. Okay, and very unfortunate that this enemy melee is super active. So it's very hard, and hopefully, I can turn things around with my Yeonhee. Thankfully, my Yeonhee evaded. So you guys might be thinking what I gave my Yeonhee then, because she's no longer the attack leader. So my Yeonhee is actually on crit and lethal here to increase her damage output as much as she can, because she's no longer the one that's countering. Oh, this team does have Gelidus too, who finally moved. And pretty interesting, right, to see Gelidus again in Arena. Thankfully I killed the Milia, so now we're all left with the Gelidus, and I avoided his attack, which is crazy. And I think he died to poison. I don't know how I came back from that battle, but it was very, very epic when I watched it. So Bathory again, she used one single basic attack, which is pretty unfortunate because if you have two, that will charge up the gauge much faster. Okay. I don't have much to say about her skill set per se because all we are loving is the Eliminate, and I think it is very strong itself. So I think that if they want to balance it, you know, the current skill set is pretty okay. Maybe just give her additional damage multipliers or boost her stats or something like that. Or maybe her passive can help to benefit something in the team, because right now it doesn't do anything except for herself. But I think that's also fair because her Eliminate is just so strong and it can really help the team a lot. And thank goodness it was a 100% miss there from the Yeonhee. So about her poison, remember that, you know, she only does 30%, if I'm not wrong, or 50%. You can actually boost that because I have Freya that will increase status effect resistance, decrease status effect resistance on the enemy. Sage also decreases poison resistance, so it's very, very compatible. And if she lands the poison, like you saw just now, Sage actually went in with the Awaken skill, so everything just fell in perfectly. So these are things that can happen that will fall in line, and then you realize that, you know, Bathory actually suits the team, that suits the poison team very well. Also that she has this bleed effect, and if you think about it, it's pretty much like a Judas, right? Because Judas also has bleed and poison. Of course, I'm not saying that, you know, she is the replacement for Judas, but you know, they are very similar in terms of CC application. Just that her percentage is very low, but again, I said you can buff it using, you know, maybe you can use Tara, maybe you can also use Freya. Freya has status effect resist, and in fact I have Rosie here who also lowers resistance. Okay, once again, elimination. Yeonhee is gone, no more counter hero. Usually when the enemy Yeonhee is gone by turn 4, you can probably be sure that there's no huge awaken skill gonna come at you, and Wukong probably is the next threat. So that is really what triggered me to think about using the reset awaken skill accessory, which, you know, is no longer on sale, by the way, just saying. But I bought it because it was super rare. But anyway, I haven't actually built it, but I decided to try it in this video later on. Unfortunately, she is also pretty much a glass cannon like Yeonhee. Okay, so in this case, her stats are low. So even with HP and HP accessory, you know, her HP just matches Yeonhee's if Yeonhee is equipped with counter. Okay, so you know, that's something to think about. It's very, very low. She can die very quickly. Unfortunately, she gets electrified here by the enemy Yeonhee. And it's pretty interesting that enemy Yeonhees are using Electrify, because Electrify is a CC that was used by Regenlave, and Regenlave has fallen off. So now people have started taking off Electrify resist. And yes, unfortunately I also got silenced. Hopefully, you know, Bathory can recover from all this and use the Eliminate soon. But think about it, you have the Guardian Ring, you know, she should be protected for at least 2 turns. Okay, and if there's no turn decrease from the enemy side, then you will still not get any damage. Thankfully, the Fenrir hits the back line, and my Bathory has recovered. Eliminated the Dylans. Not too bad, not too bad. In case she doesn't eliminate Yeonhee, enemy Yeonhee, I think it's fine, because just think about it, she will eliminate the one with the highest attack. So she will eliminate the one that is the biggest threat on the enemy team. And there we go, we won the battle. So over here I've changed my accessory to the Awaken skill reset one and Guardian Ring, so you guys can have a feel of how it goes. Turn decrease from my Yeonhee, and I managed to get their shields down, so at least I can deal damage 1 turn earlier.
칠 시간이야.
So far, I think that the team is pretty strong. In fact, I don't really see a big problem, except of course I wish. Ooh, that's a lot of damage from my Yonhee. That's crazy. That is really crazy. Yeah, as I was saying, I think. Oh, miss! Okay, I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky for this match. And he pushed my Bathory to the back row. So I think the team is actually pretty okay, to my surprise. Bathory survive on 1 HP is very important, and thankfully she has that on her passive. And this is actually very interesting when Eliminate happens at the last part of the battle. So she eliminated the last hero and it was a win, of course. And usually we don't really see that. We see her using it very early and we want her to use it very early, but in that case, you know, pretty cool. Here she uses her skill first and already her awaken skill is up and they can't do anything to her because, you know, it is just turn 1. So she can get her awaken skill up in turn 1 and there's really nothing they can do. In turn 2, I think the Yonhee is gone. Yep, the Yonhee is gone. No more counter hero for the enemy team. Of course, that's not to say that there are no more threats. There's still a lot of things going on. Right now, I can only rely on Sage and Bathory. The Melia is still around though, so that's the counter hero. That's the real counter hero. I think I managed to land a poison on them. Yeah. So that's a good thing from Bathory. She does help Sage it a bit. Here she life drains and gets back about 1000 HP and you see that her awaken skill is back already. However, before she can even use that awaken skill, she is down. So that is why I say that her problem lies in her stats, because her stats are just way too low. And sorry I cut that battle short because it just went on too long. It basically, her stats are so low that she cannot reset her awaken skill in time. You get what I mean? Unless there's a way to prolong her or increase her self-healing, self-recovery, then I think she has a chance to come back in the arena. So these are things that Netmarble can probably take note if they really want, you know, to buff some of the awakened heroes back into the meta. And besides that, I think there's really not much of a problem with her. I think she's pretty much fine, just have to tweak some of her multipliers. And here she eliminated the villains. Unfortunately not the Yonhee, because it's interesting that the Yonhee is on the back line, but Dylan's has the highest attack on the enemy team. So yeah, things like that can happen. And I'm just hoping that, you know, the Yonhee is really not the threat, otherwise I'm in big trouble. And she does a double kill here, which is pretty impressive. Of course the enemies are low themselves on HP, but you know, still pretty cool. Unfortunately, she's gone already, but she has done her job and made the whole match a lot faster and also a lot easier for me. And I think, you know, it's really where her strength lies. So let me know what you guys think of Bathory and whether you guys even want to try her out. Of course, there are some things that she is lacking, but she's definitely still a very good hero with her most unique ability, Eliminate. So if you want to see more heroes being tested, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much and see you!